Hello and welcome to this short support video explaining how a care home can register for the Capacity Tracker. Once you've opened an internet browser, enter carehomes.nexu.nhs.uk in the address bar and press enter. This will take you to the main screen. To start the registration process, select the large green button Register Now. To register on Capacity Tracker, you'll be asked for 6 pieces of information: your email address, your full name, contact number, job title, user type and provider type, i.e. standard or approver. An approver can grant new users access to or remove existing users from the Capacity Tracker, for example if they've left. Please note there should always be at least 2 approvers for each organisation to cover annual leave, sickness and so forth. This would normally include the manager and deputy manager, but you're welcome to have as many approvers for your organisation as necessary, and there are no limits either to how many users you want to have access to be able to update your bed availability. Type in your email address. This will be required each time you log into the Capacity Tracker, and it will also be the email address that will receive the new user login details, including a temporary password. This needs to be an email address that hasn't already been registered with Capacity Tracker. If you do happen to type one that has already been registered, you'll be warned that the username has already been taken. Should this be the case, please contact the help desk for guidance on how to resolve by calling 0300 555 0340. Generic passwords can be used here too for teams who want to log in with the same password for ease of use. It doesn't matter whether organisations use their own staff emails or a generic email, just remember the login details will get sent to that email address. Now type in your full name. Next, type in the best contact number for this email address. It can be a mobile or landline number and needs to be between 8 and 12 digits. Now type in your job title. If you have selected a generic email above, you might want to repeat the name of the team that you entered in the full name field. The next step is to select the user type. Remember, an approver is someone who can add or remove access from users that are registered to your organisation. If a new user registers for access to your organisation, the approvers will get notified and be able to accept or reject that user. For everyone else, who just needs to be able to update the bed availability and organisation setup, they should just leave the user type highlighted green. The provider type should also be selected. The provider type defaults as care home. That's the first step finished. Now press next. Step 2 simply involves typing in the postcode of your care home. Once the postcode has been entered, you'll see a list of care homes that the CQC have registered at that address. To select your home or homes, just click on the home or homes in the list that appears. To register for more homes that you need access to at a different postcode, just type the other postcode. You can keep repeating this process for as many homes as you need access to. Once you've selected the home or homes you are registering for, just press the next button. Step 3 is the final part of the registration process and simply involves clicking into the checkboxes to say that you understand and agree with the terms of use of the Capacity Tracker. Finally, click on Complete. This will trigger an email to Capacity Tracker system administrators and any approvers already registered for your organisation. Once your registration application has been approved, you'll be sent an automated email to the email address you registered with, which will contain all relevant login details. This will normally be within 24 hours, but will be dependent upon how quickly your care home's approvers review your registration. After you've received your login details, please try to log in. The first time you log into Capacity Tracker, you'll be asked to update your password to something that's more memorable. You'll then be asked to retype it, as most websites do these days. The first step is to log in using the email address you registered with and the password you set up. Here's a tip. When logging in, put a tick in the Remember Me checkbox below your password. That way you won't have to keep typing your login details every time you use the Capacity Tracker. you'll be presented with a screen containing various tiles. You need to select Care Home Providers to display your care home on the next page. Now you'll see a blue link after each of the 6 column entries. We're going to quickly work through each of these links and show you what you need to do. Please note that if you've registered for multiple care homes, all of the homes that you're registered for will be listed, and you'll be required to repeat the following process for each one in turn. Most of these steps need to be done once to ensure your home is correctly set up. The only pages that need to be changed routinely are the vacancies and business continuity pages. So, the first link you click on is Edit after the care home name. Before we go any further, you'll notice the links from the previous page have now helpfully appeared at the top of this page, meaning that all you need to do is work your way across them in order. Check the name and address details that we've imported about your care home from the CQC and update as required. Under Classification and Funding, review the boxes and select as appropriate. Some information will be pre-populated as this has been imported from the CQC directly. The care type defaults to your care home, providing both residential and nursing care. But to change this, just click on the relevant option until it turns green. Remember, green means the option is selected, whilst grey means it's not selected. This also applies to the funding sources that you accept. Under the Miscellaneous Details section, we import your latest CQC report URL and public URL directly from the CQC, enabling other users of the Capacity Tracker to quickly link to these places on the internet. Please also state whether you accept out-of-hours admissions, meaning that you accept admissions outside of 9 AM to 5 PM, Monday to Friday. Next, under Manager Details, please do ensure this section is fully completed and always kept up to date. As you might expect, the details in this section are used throughout the Capacity Tracker, and in particular are used in the main search results to help all other users make contact directly. Where you have been provided with an NHS Mail email, please ensure that this is also added. Moving on to Extended Room Detail. This is not a mandatory field, so please only complete it if you want to use it. Further guidance can be obtained in the User Help Guide accessible via the Help menu. Before leaving this page and moving on to the next, always press Save Details at the bottom of the page. This is the case when changing any page in Capacity Tracker. Lastly, the note log, also not mandatory for care homes to use, is effectively a notice board for the care home to use to publicise anything they feel is relevant to the other users of the Capacity Tracker. Each care home has complete control over whether it uses the note log and what it enters. Some homes use this facility to promote some features of the care home, others use it to advise of any particular restrictions, for example pets. The choice is yours and you can add as many notes as you like. These notes appear in user search results, so please be careful what you type. Now go back to the top of the page and select Business Continuity. The page sets out care home current status, workforce, PPE and contact directory. First, looking at the current status, select the admission status that most accurately reflects your current position. Your selection will then turn green. When selecting Partially Closed, you'll be presented with a list of the vacancy types that you will have previously specified within the Edit Vacancies screen. Clicking on the green Open button next to the vacancy types for which you are currently not accepting admissions will change the status accordingly, as shown here. Please now select the most appropriate descriptor for your overall care home status. Guidance text is available by hovering over each option. For COVID-19 resident count, again guidance is available by hovering your cursor over COVID-19 resident count. Moving down to the workforce section, under the employed column, please enter the number of care workers and non-care workers employed at the care home, along with the number of workers absent due to sickness on that day. It's worth noting that care workers refers to those employed in any capacity for providing care within the location, i.e. nurses, care assistants. Non-care workers relates to those working in support roles, i.e. administration, maintenance, etc. The workforce status should then be selected. Again, guidance text is available by hovering over each of the section options. The next section relates to the availability of personal protective equipment within the location. Please select the appropriate status option. Again, hover text is available to guide you. Ensure you click the green Save button to save all the changes you've made this far. The contact directory is an optional section and enables key contact details to be recorded that may help during business continuity or emergency incidents, where key personnel and organisations need to be contacted, i.e. a plumber or electrician, for example. To add contacts, select the Add Contact button and complete the details as required before clicking Add. When completed, please press Save again, and this will save the additional changes made to the page. Now go back to the top of the page. You can ignore Care Quality, as this is just showing your CQC sub-ratings, and instead select Edit Services. In Edit Services, you can tell the capacity tracker which services and vacancy or bed types you offer. Simply click the relevant services and vacancy or bed types and you'll see them turn green. To deselect any options, just click again. For short stay services, if you're able to offer short stay services within your home, please select the services you wish to make visible for those searching for vacancies. It's important to note that the long-term vacancy types selected here will determine what you see on the next pages. Languages gives the care home an option to promote whether they can offer any specific languages in addition to English. As we know, this is sometimes an important decision for some patients. To add additional languages, just start typing and select each language as appropriate. Again, press Save. Now on the top menu, select Edit Costs. For each of the vacancy types you selected on the previous screen, please now input your indicative price per week for each bed type. We ask for an indicative bed price only here because we recognise the wide variety of tariffs that exist between homes, local authorities and CCGs, and also how these prices can shift depending upon clinical assessment and relevant top-up fees. Remember to save your entries. Next, select Edit Total Capacity. For each vacancy type that you offer, state the maximum number of beds you can offer if your care home was empty. The total number of beds you have should invariably match the number registered with the CQC, and we display this information directly from the CQC for your information. How you profile your bed type is entirely your decision. Press Save once completed. Moving on, now select Edit Vacancies. This is the screen which you will use over and over again to update your actual available beds. Enter the number of vacancies that you have for each vacancy type. If you have no vacancies available, please enter 0. It's really important for care homes to understand that if, for example, you only have one available bed, and this one bed could be used for any of the vacancy types, it is essential to tick the appropriate box to identify the vacancy is flexible. Do not add one in each bed type, as this would suggest that your home has more vacancies than it actually does. Instead, you should select one vacancy type that you want to offer, put a 1 next to it, and tick the flexible option, and enter 0 for the other vacancy types. Press Save. Finally, select Edit Contracts. This screen is designed to help care homes quickly define which local authorities and CCGs they have a contract with. All local authorities and CCGs are grouped by region, and as before, it's a simple case of clicking on the relevant local authorities and CCGs that you have a contract with so they turn green. Remember to press Save at the bottom of the screen. This will send a notification to the relevant CCGs and local authorities, who will need to approve the contract is in place prior to it being visible to those discharge teams who are searching for vacancies and have selected this filter. Your care home is now properly set up. To log off from Capacity Tracker, just click on your email in the top right hand corner of the page.